So, hello, everybody. Good evening. We're so happy to be here with you at the Fresh Hope Talk Show. I'm here tonight with two great ladies. I'm here with Benita and Jennifer, and I'll tell you a little bit about them in just a second. But first of all, we want to use our intro. So, I'm going to share my screen with everybody here. Just stand by for a little while. And here.
Welcome to the Fresh Hope Talk Show, a weekly space to encourage conversation about mental health and what's new at Fresh Hope. Tune in each week and interact with us. We promise to keep you good company, inspire you and surprise you. So without further ado, we leave you with our hostess, Samantha Kura.
Yay! So there's a little bit of excitement there. So I can't wait to introduce you to these wonderful ladies. Let me introduce you first of all to Jennifer, and let me tell you, Jennifer Cox. I've gotten to know her actually because I've seen her that she's really active in the Fresh Hope Network, which we're going to talk about in just a little while. So Jennifer is the facilitator of Fresh Hope at Living Truth Church in Pace, Florida, near Pensacola. And she has been a member and attended of Living Truth Church for over a decade. That's wonderful, Jennifer. She has served as a co-facilitator of Fresh Hope for a year before becoming the main facilitator in 2020. She's also dedicated to Living Truth Children's Ministry and bringing Jesus to the younger generation. And she has been married to her husband for 16 years. Jennifer's family includes 2 sons and a daughter. That's wonderful. And her passions outside of church and family are reading, exercising, and traveling. So everybody, let's give a round of applause to Jennifer. That's awesome. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us. I'm excited. And on the other hand, we have Benita. I've gotten to know Benita. She comes to several of our meetings. She's very faithful, and she's also very active in the network. She's going to tell you about it in a bit. This is something new for her, as it's new for all of us. Benita in 2017 was invited to a mental health conference by her sister-in-law, who is diagnosed with a mental illness and living with her at that time. So that's where she was introduced to Fresh Hope. Pastor Brad was one of the speakers at the time, Benita, right? And Benita knew that they needed a group like this to start at her church, so she did. And impacting approximately 50 participants over the last 4 years. They meet every second and fourth Monday monthly through Zoom. Wow, that she is a wife of almost 27 years with 2 grown children. That's amazing. Soon to be a first-time grandma. Oh my God, congratulations, Benita. That's exciting. So Benita works as an American Sign Language interpreter, as well as volunteers at her local church with deaf ministry. And she's, this is not written down here, but I know she's told me she has sometimes dreamed of having the Fresh Hope tenets translated or to, deaf sign language. Her hopes is to make Fresh Hope as available to the deaf community as it is to the hearing. Amen. That's amazing. So I'm really honored to have you here. Hi, Benita, officially.
Yes, thank you. And I just realized I neglected to say where I am. I'm in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, you did. You're right. You're in San Antonio. That's wonderful. So thank you, ladies, for being here. This is the first time you two get to know each other, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is a wonderful way to connect, isn't it?
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, just to know other people from Fresh Hope. So let's see. We have some people watching us. We have Claire Hi, Claire. I know you're watching. We have Caitlin and Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca. Claire is watching right before she goes to her own online group. I have my husband here watching. So hi, Miguel. He's there watching too. He's a great fan. And if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to write them down in the comment section, and we will make sure we include them. For example, I would like to know if you're watching the Fresh Hope Talk Show, where are you at? I mean, are you like Benita is in Texas and Jennifer is in Florida? I'm in El Salvador. Where are people watching us? If you want to write that down in the comments, please do, or if you have any questions. So, ladies, you both have a great history of being Fresh Hope leaders and having the initiative to serve. Want to talk to us about it a little bit? How has it been? How does it feel to be part of Fresh Hope?
Who would like to go first?
I feel very passionate about Fresh Hope. My experience with it is I had known about Fresh Hope very little from our church, and there had been a large following, and the facilitator that originally brought Fresh Hope to the church had been running meetings, and we had been going through some struggles with our family member, our loved one. And I was like searching for materials. I was trying to find something that fed me spiritually and gave me guidance. And I really just didn't see any materials that are out there. I had ordered everything I could find on Amazon and reached out to my pastor. And I said, I really would like to just help people in my community in regard to the mental health. And he was like, hey, I'm going to put you in contact with Tony, which was our facilitator at the time. And so one thing led to another, and I went to a meeting and I was like, this is what I was looking for. And I tell people about that every time they come to a meeting. I said, just reading the tenets and then the workbook and just the support with everybody there. And it was just being able to know that they had been through some walk of the journey in some sort and being able to relate to me, as well as having those praying for me. And so that's kind of how I ended up becoming involved with Fresh Hope, is I already wanted to work and I felt passionate about being a part of the mental health community. But then getting into Fresh Hope, it was like everything I had looked for. I was like, where have I been? Why did I wait so long to join? And so obviously, I continued to be a part of the community and serve, and I just have a passion to keeping it vibrant and bringing more materials to those that come, and kind of taking away the stigma that comes with mental health, because I think that's just a big thing. So many are struggling, but it's really hard to take those steps of courage to reach out and come into the community of Fresh Hope and know that it's a safe place. So.
Yes, I love that passion, Jennifer. And it's, you can feel it even miles away. And I'm able to feel it. So great. That's wonderful that the Lord has put that in you. And how about you, Benita?
Oh, and I think you mentioned it a little bit in my introduction about how I got introduced, and that was going to a conference. And, just trying to figure out ways how better to support my loved one, and, encourage my husband. And we went, and I just felt like my eyes were opened, where you kind of go closed-eyed and you have your ideas of what you think's right and the best way to approach things. And then it was like, bing, I was able to see. And then, like Jennifer mentioned, those tenets, I really think they were God ordained. When I read them, I was like, oh, this is where I need to be. I've learned so much. I've grown so much in the 4 years. I feel better for it. I feel like I'm able to support more members of my family that are diagnosed, that I've been recognizing, but some undiagnosed. And even for my own personal growth, though I'm not diagnosed, I need this. there's so much material. There's so much we're trying to grab. I want the community to be more aware of how they can have fresh new hope. I think in the pandemic and the things that are going on, people are starting to recognize more and more the need for mental health awareness.
Yes.
And they recognize that as a big part of our health, and as well as our physical health. Our mental health is so critical. And I really believe with the biblical view that Fresh Hope offers, and just God in there, I just believe that this is what our world needs. I was going to say country, but our world, because I know now many countries are participating in Fresh Hope and understanding the need even in their own communities. And I love, love, love that.
Yes, yes, amen. I know, I hear you talk about the Fresh Hope tenets, and it just makes me remember how it was when I first read them. And it was, I always say, it's like I had these questions in my mind. And it was like when I read the tenets, it was like God answering every one of my questions. Like nobody else had been able to answer those questions. And it was the Lord answering those questions through the tenets. So I'm really grateful for Fresh Hope as well. And guess what? You're also right about now it being, well, Jennifer mentioned the community, and Benita mentioned it's many countries are involved now. And as it's getting bigger, there's a greater chance of making more connections and more friends and just, growing the support and sharing the hope. So we have just launched the Fresh Hope Network, which is like our own private Fresh Hope Facebook kind of thing. It's eventually we're going to get the app. Actually, it's going to work with an app that's being developed right now. But right now, all you need to do is go to freshhope.us and you sign up, and it sends you an email. You confirm your account, and that's it. You have your own account within the Fresh Hope Network, and you are able to do many things in the Fresh Hope Network. So I know Benita and Jennifer, you've both been there. You're getting to know how it works and everything. It's easy to use, right? What do you think? What have you liked the most so far, or what do you think?
I'll let Jennifer go first.
Okay, let me go first. All right. I actually opened it up because I was like, okay, let me look at it at the same time. And then seeing all the people on Facebook, I'm so tempted, but I can't get distracted. I want to see their faces too, as we talk. But I really liked that there was such a large amount of groups, and I was taken back when I had joined with the other facilitators, and we were talking about it and being introduced to it, and I was just like, the connectivity, that to me meant a lot. So I could go on there and be like, oh, what's going on? What's being said? And then I was super excited because there was a mom group. And then I was like, oh, I need to be a part of that. And so I'm looking forward because I wanted to see what other groups were popping up. There's a teen group, and that's something that I continue to hear within close friends, that there's such a need in the community of our young our adolescents or teens or young adults. And so I was excited to see that. I was like, oh, that's such a great referral for them to be able to go on there and connect with others. So just a variety. I was just, wow, there's so much already.
Awesome. See, yeah, great things to highlight. What do you think, Benita?
We have established, my local group established a local Facebook group, and I've been yearning to have something that was not necessarily affiliated with Facebook, because there are some of our members that are just tired of the lack of hope in some of the Facebook drama.
Exactly.
So they choose to, not to be a part of that but I wanted to find a common ground that everybody could feel safe, secure, know that there's people there that are understanding their needs, able to reach out, like you said, Samantha, 24/7 when they need, be able to put a comment or something like that. I'm sure there's a vast number of things that you can do. Like Jennifer was mentioning, I have yet to explore it all because it is still very new and new to me. I'm looking forward to the app. That would be so much easier to just think, touch on that app and be able to open it up and be able to get notifications, be able to respond right away. I think I'm definitely looking forward to this network growing, feeling the security of it, and also the community. I think that's what we're looking for. I'd like to see more hope coaching within this network. That's another thing that I've just been very excited about, all the new things that Fresh Hope has been bringing.
Yeah. And guess what? I'm going to go a little ahead of myself here and give you some great news just because you mentioned it. We are actually going to soft launch on something called the Hope Coach Connector. So that's going to be within the same thing. You're gonna hear more about it another night here at the talk show. But it's gonna be a real easy way to connect to a hope coach or to be a hope coach and get connected to people who need you. And the platform is so smart. It even it asks you some questions when you first register, and so it smart matches what hope coach is better for you, or who it smart matches. For example, if you speak English, if you are a woman, if you have a diagnosis, it smart matches you to the person that's asking for the hope coaching, and it connects you. But anyway, I told you I'm getting ahead of myself here. That's not today's topic, but just to give you some great news and reasons to keep watching the talk show, because there's a lot of things going on. And that's what, one of the things that made me want to have this half an hour a week, speak in English one week, in Spanish the other, talk show, is just to keep people feeling a part of everything that's going on. Because there's a lot of things going on, and Fresh Hope is not one person or two people or five people. Fresh Hope is all of us. And this Fresh Hope Network gives you that sense of a big family, and that safety. And well, once you sign up, there's a number of things you can do. For example, you can send a private message to a member, like you would do on an inbox in Facebook. You can post something to your timeline, and you would see it on your news feed. So if you know how to use Facebook, it shouldn't be hard to learn to use the network. Like Jennifer said, there are groups, and there are two types of groups. First of all, we have the Fresh Hope groups, like Benitez, Texas group has a profile page for it. And facilitators, if you're watching this, you need to not only sign up to the network, but you need to sign up to your group. You need to request access to your group, and then I will make you an organizer, which means you get free management of your group. You can update your group's information. You can invite members to join it. You can have your own private conversation within the group, and there's just no limit. But you know what I'm going to do, because I don't want to bore you with, too technical stuff, too much technical stuff. On the Facebook, under the Facebook Live, I'm going to write right now a link that has short videos. Okay, I'm typing it out right now, so I can't type and talk. Okay, it's there. If you click on that link that I just shared, it's going to show you 4 mini videos. They're like 2 minutes long, and they're gonna show it. They show you what to do. Like, okay, I've signed up to the Fresh Hope Network. Now what do I do? How do I find my group? And that's one type of group, the Fresh Hope groups. But the other type of groups, we're gonna call them affinity groups. And that's what Jennifer mentioned right now, that when she said there's a group for moms. So you can ask, and we would create any kind of group you can think of. Like, I have a friend who wants to create a group just for moms that underwent postpartum depression. So she can create that group, and anywhere you can be a part of that, no matter where you live. So you know what I mean? You can join, you can have both your Fresh Hope group and your affinity group and get to know more people. We're going to have a group that's for men diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And so you can, any idea you have, you can request to have that group created, and you can meet people from other places. So that's really exciting. Yeah, Benita, go ahead.
So I'm still a student of it too, and that excites me, having the affinity group. So once a member joins the network, then they can maybe type in the search, I'm assuming, and then be able to find the various groups. Or if they feel like, well, my group's not there, I can actually create one, something that some group that I would like and I can relate to. And
yes.
So,
yes.
Okay.
It's super exciting. So if it's a Fresh Hope group, you need to tell us, and we will make sure that your group is there. But if you have an idea for an affinity group, you can absolutely create it and ask us to create it, and you can join it and meet other people. That's really exciting. So to see all the groups, you need to go. It's very simple. I think it says all groups. Straightforward. And what else? You can also connect to people. That's the way we would make friends. You can connect to Pastor Brad. You can connect to Benita or Jennifer. You can connect to Donna, and just connect to people who are Spanish speakers. And soon we're going to have Japanese speakers in the network as well. So yeah, let's see if people are writing here in the comments, and see if we can respond. Maybe they have questions. I can see people are watching from Minnesota. Hi, Holly from Minnesota. And hi, Iowa. Caitlin, Rebecca is also in Iowa. So that's great. I can't see, are there any more comments or questions? Jennifer, thank you for watching. Yes. Are you in California, Jennifer? Newfield? How do you pronounce that? I guess I hope I'm saying it right. So I'm going to also write down the place where you can sign up for the network. That's freshhope.us. So that if you have not signed up to the network, please do. It's free. I think we need to say that, because people might be thinking, that sounds so good. Do I have to pay for it? Do I have to pay to become a member? And let me tell you, you don't. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. It's a new beginning. It's the beginning of a new era for Fresh Hope.
I like it because the people feel real, because I've seen all these names. I didn't go to a conference like Benita, so it's always been like videos and watching stuff. And then like when Samantha said you could connect with someone, like I needed to ask for the new tenant. So I was like, okay, message Donna. And I was like, this is great. I can see her face and I see who she is. She's a real person. She's just not this email that I connect with people. It really, the personal aspect is just comforting, maybe.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah. Thank you, Jennifer. That's right. And I like that about Pastor Brad and Donna and Fresh Hope, that it's really, how can I say this? It's not something elevated and far away. It's really close to the people. it's, close to the heart, don't you think?
Yes.
So you can really feel the family love.
Yes.
I'm going to keep looking on Facebook. We still have about 5 minutes here live. So if you have questions or comments, please go ahead and write. And this is the time where we can respond or maybe teach something if you want, or if you have ideas for the Fresh Hope Talk Show or things you would like us to, talk about here. Also, please include that in the comments. That would be great. So, you know what other affinity groups we could have? We could have affinity groups for single people.
Yes, I was looking to see if there was a men's group yet. Someone had mentioned that at one point, and so I definitely am. I scout out all the groups because I'm just so curious what's there, so I can be like, go, there's a new one.
I think there's a group like that for men with bipolar disorder in Spanish.
There you go.
We need to create one for men in English. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you go to one Fresh Hope group in one side of the US or to the other. We can all join an affinity group. That's a part of everyone.
That's one thing I think has just been wonderful. I hate to say it, COVID kind of brought a good thing. All of a sudden, everybody's on Zoom, they're connecting digitally. You're able to connect, far away where you don't have that support system locally. You're able to join a group that's far away, but you feel very close to people. The network's another way of doing that, is connecting to people that, maybe you're in a more rural, I don't say that word, rural area, more in the country, and then things are too far, and you're not able to participate and get that community that you need.
Yes,
we have these opportunities now. I'm going to go ahead and share my little tidbit about, with the deaf. I'm going to go ahead and sign what I'm saying. For ASL, I really, really, really want to see more deaf people have the opportunity to get mental health networking, able to see, that they have other people that have similar experiences. And if they have a brother, a family member, a mom and dad, whoever who needs these services for mental health, that that it could be provided in ASL. We can set up an affinity group, that for the deaf, to be able to network. And just right now, just to let you know, the deaf have a hard time finding any kind of deaf counselor, anybody who knows sign. Right now, they have to pull in an interpreter, a neutral party to be able to interpret. But there's nothing like, and you all know, being able to sit down with somebody with a similar experience, being able to hear their story and their background, and it just touches your heart. You're like, me too. And it inspires you. And and that is one minority group that gets left out. And because they're not ability to hear. But this right here can really bring in those contacts. And I've noticed that even in church ministry, for deaf that have to drive a long way away just to find a church that provides any kind of interpreter for their services. Now they can get up on the computer, click on to, the churches that are broadcasting their interpreter, or to a deaf pastor, they're able to seek those out. And if we can put this on here and get more Fresh Hope out there, I really, really am eager to see that we add more captioning to our material, and actually have it in their heart language, the American Sign Language, and also Mexican Sign Language, and let's keep bringing it out to the other languages as well.
I love it, Benita. If you're out there and you're watching this and hearing this, please write to us, contact us, and we will connect you to Benita, and we can make this happen. I surely feel this is God that has stirred your heart, Benita. And I know, and I love watching you do the sign language. It's just so it's, I don't know, it's impressive. It's impressive. And I know it's been in your heart for,
Yeah.
it's something you want to do. I'll support you, count on me.
Yeah, my mother was born deaf, so I have deaf family members. And so I the culture's in me.
Yes.
So, when you have a family member that, experience the frustrations that deaf people do, and then also having a family member with a mental illness and the frustrations they've been faced,
Yes.
I understand there's a need to get rid of the stigma, to get rid of the oppression.
Yes.
Oh, well, you can't because,
Yes.
we just need to get rid of that. More hope, more I can.
Yes,
Move
exactly.
forward.
Yes.
Exactly. You can live a full and rich life in spite of.
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Is that how you say amen?
Amen.
Okay. I'm going to learn that.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. We're going to say amen to that. I love that. Thank you for sharing your heart. That was perfect. Thank you, Benita.
Absolutely.
Thank you for hosting this.
No, it's my pleasure. I'm a talker. So I could go on, but we really want people to actually watch this. So we're trying to keep it, within 30 minutes so that people are, they want more. We want to leave people wanting more.
Right.
So just so that you know, and I was telling Jennifer and Benita earlier, this video then is turned into a podcast. You can listen to it through Spotify, for example, or other podcast channels. And you can also look for it in the Fresh Hope YouTube channel. So if you want somebody to be able to see this and you're thinking, oh, they weren't able to join live, don't worry. It stays there in the YouTube channel or in the podcast, and you can share so that you can share with friends. Before we say goodbye, I don't know, Jennifer, do you want to share something that's in your heart, or just a question or a comment or whatever you think or feel?
I'm just really excited about just the era that we have moved into, this new, just not only the network, but just as Benita put it so well, the virtual world with Fresh Hope. The needs that are out there, and just everything that she's speaking about, and with American Sign Language, and we do a special needs ministry at our church. So we hear a lot about all of these areas that we need to be reaching people, and you don't know until you have a family member or a loved one, or you're serving in a ministry. And so nonetheless, there's so much opportunity with Fresh Hope. But I'm excited because I wouldn't have actually learned any of this without having this talk show. And I'm just excited that now I can share this on the platform, and I can share it with people that are interested in Fresh Hope, so they can see what we're talking about and what we're doing, and connect and see your face. As I mentioned, it's exciting. I feel like I now know everybody, and I can be like, okay, Benita, let me see what's going on, and what are you doing in your group, and inspire me and help me inspire and instill hope in those that I'm working with. So I like that. It really is encouraging.
That's wonderful. Yeah, you do feel like closer to each other, don't you? It's like an effect of the network and the talk show. And we have some comments I want to read before we say goodbye. We have Gavi Santizo watching from Guatemala. Jennifer saying we should be talking about parents of teens with a diagnosis, or a group for parents of teens with a diagnosis. I think she means that.
Yeah.
There is a new tenant. Elisa Gilmore is asking if we have a new tenant. For those of you who didn't know, we have 7 tenants now. And the seventh tenant is perfect as the rest of them. And so you can request to download that one too. Jennifer also is saying that she is going to start her Fresh Hope in-person group mid-September. That's wonderful. Congratulations. We're really happy about that. And Elisa is saying she never thought about the hearing impaired needing an interpreter for therapy. I hadn't thought of that before until you mentioned, Benita. Elisa is saying it was really easy to sign up. I'm all signed up. Thank you, Elisa. Thank you. We're really happy to hear those and to get those comments. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. So that's what I have to say. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Jennifer and Benita, for your time. I know you're busy women, your families and your work and your ministries are there, but still you made this time to give to the Fresh Hope community. So I'm really grateful to you both. And if I can help you in any way that I can, just, my email, you can contact me and we'll be in touch.
You're wonderful, Samantha. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fresh Hope, for making it not only podcast, but YouTube, which has caption.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give you another good news, Benita. I think the videos for the facilitator training program, I have a friend, Rachel, that serves here in Fresh Hope as well, and she added captions to the facilitator training videos.
Wonderful.
So yeah, we need to keep talking about your calling there. Okay. So everybody, thank you. And thank you everyone that tuned in, that joined us. We're here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Central America, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time in the US. So don't get confused with the time. We alternate. Sometimes it's English, sometimes it's Spanish, but it's always great news. So keep coming, keep joining the Fresh Hope Talk Show, and have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.